Welcome to the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce. Here we are in our beautiful Sargent Studios. My name is Bryan Weatherford, and I'll be your host. As always, we really love to spotlight, if I may, our members here at the Chamber. And today we have a pretty special member, if for no other reason on a personal note. Her business is one of my favorite businesses around, particularly when we talk about restaurants. The business we're talking about today is Chick-fil-A, specifically the Chick-fil-A here in Arlington on North Collins. And we have the owner herself, Miss Carmenza Moreno. Carmenza, welcome.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here. And it's nice. I know you here at the Chamber on a personal note, but from a business standpoint, a lot of people don't know a lot about you. And that's why you're here today. So thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Well, I want to start with something simple. When it comes to Chick-fil-A, most of us think of it as a great place to go eat. But for you, it's so much more. We're talking about stewardship's a big part of what you do with Chick-fil-A.
Yes, it is. Chick-fil-A is more than just selling chicken. That's what I tell a lot of my team members and the people that comes to work with us. I started my career 32 years ago with Chick-fil-A as a team member. And I never thought when I went in that I will end up, having a career. And so, yes, Chick-fil-A is a very generous, caring company to be part of.
Well, you've already used that word, your team members. It's not your employees. It's all a team. That's the whole aspect, not just of your store, but the company as a whole.
Overall, yeah.
And I know that you like to be a positive influence on everyone, not just your team members, but the public as well. Why is that so important to have such a positive role in people's lives?
I think it's important to learn, and I encourage a lot of young people, my own family, to find out what the purpose of our life is early enough so that we can make a difference. Sometimes we don't know what God puts us here for, and just trying to find a purpose. And my purpose is to bring hope to people and to be a positive influence and inspire them. I mean, to go for whatever it is that they're dreaming for.
You've been doing this now for 32 years. Can you imagine yourself doing anything else? If you let's step back a bit. If you weren't with Chick-fil-A, do you ever think of what you would be doing if you hadn't gone this direction?
I always wanted to be a lawyer, and really that's what I set out to do. But once I got into Chick-fil-A and I realized that I really liked the company and what I was doing, I stayed. So I did not pursue that path, but that's what I wanted at the time.
Well, so you started, as you mentioned, all those years ago, not that many years ago, but when you started as a team member yourself, when did you get to the point where you said, maybe I'm ready to go to the next level and not just be a team member, but to form my own team at my own store? What was that transition like?
That's a great question, because I started as a cook, and I got promoted all the time. And part of it was because I always work hard, had a lot of initiative, and I became a leader. And then I found out that I was good at leading people. And so I kept being promoted. And when I became the manager for the store, I went to my operator and I said, I asked him a question, how do I get your job? Because there was no other place to move up. And that's when I started the process of becoming an owner-operator.
And so, give me the year. When did you become an owner-operator?
In 2001.
2001, so they told me there wouldn't be any math with this job, so that's roughly 12 years ago.
In 2001, we're talking about
22
years ago.
I was testing you to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
So your store here in Arlington, you're up on North Collins. Now, as a fan of Chick-fil-A, I'm a fan of Carmenza, but I'm a big fan of Chick-fil-A. I've been to a lot of stores. I've never seen a store like yours. Am I right? Is your store different than other stores? It seems the setup and everything seems...
Well, it is a different setup. We just happen to be fortunate to be in the middle of everything that's going on in Arlington. And so as a result of that, we are busy, and we get exposed to a lot of people, and not only from the city, but from outside. They come to visit Arlington, either to go to a game at the Rangers or to go to Cowboy Stadium or to just visit the city because of all that's going on in the entertainment district. So we just are in a strategic place, I believe, and that's what we have to work hard I feel personally responsible to take care of the brand. And there's many people that come from other places, including out of the country. They've never eaten Chick-fil-A. And I see that a lot, where they come to our store and they tell us we have never eaten Chick-fil-A because of where we are. So I feel like it's a huge responsibility from a brand stand as well as the community. We have to represent our city well. So we work really hard.
The city and the brand. I want to step on the brand here just a little bit. When you talk about the brand, I think it's important, again, speaking personally, but I can speak for a lot of people. I love eating at Chick-fil-A, and if I go on the road and I see a Chick-fil-A, I feel like it's a little piece of home. The brand is so important to, obviously to you, but to the image itself, and Chick-fil-A does a fantastic job with that.
Well, thank you. We want to be the most caring company in the world, and it begins at our stores, taking care of our team members, taking care of our customers, and taking care of our communities.
Well, let's go ahead and go into that here just a second. Talking about the community, I go to a lot of events here in Arlington, and I always see Chick-fil-A. Maybe I see the cow walking around, or maybe I'm there eating chicken biscuit sandwiches or whatever. You're all over the place. Why is that so important to you?
Well, to build a brand. And also, I want to give back. I wasn't born here. I moved here many years ago, and I feel obligated to give back as well. So we do it to build the brand and to participate in the community, to give back, and to influence, just to influence. That's really what we want. We are obviously a business also, and we want to grow ourselves, and you have to be up there promoting your business. You can get complacent. I tell that to my leaders all the time. Just because the lines are out to the street doesn't mean that we don't take care of our customers and go out there and look for more opportunities.
Well, and speaking of opportunities, as beautiful as your store is, you're always tweaking it. You're adding new stuff. You got a new drive-in lane or something.
Yes.
What's the purpose of that?
We added a third lane because of how busy we are, right. And we wanted to make sure that we are able to facilitate the customer experience when they come into our parking lot. And so we were able to get a third lane to expedite the service to our customers and to be able to take care of our customers.
Well, and you're always offering more services because now you started a delivery service. Is that right?
We do. We started Chick-fil-A delivery. It's sort of the same platform as other companies, but it's directly with us. You order from us, and we deliver. Our team members deliver to you. It's not someone else.
It's not a third party.
No, it's not a third party. It's our team members who are delivering the food to your door. So,
the restaurant industry, I don't need to tell you, it's one of the most competitive industries when it comes to bringing people in to join the team. The hospitality general as a whole, but specifically the restaurant business, what advantages do you have if someone's out there looking to join a team somewhere? Why should they look at Chick-fil-A, specifically your store, versus somewhere else? What's in it for them?
The culture. We are a caring culture. We offer flexibility. We offer scholarships. We are very competitive with our benefits. And we give you an opportunity to grow. I often tell people that any job you have, it is only going to enhance your future. As long as you don't look at that job as just a place to collect a check, but an opportunity to learn. And when you go and work for Chick-fil-A, you're not only serving, but you're also learning time management, conflict resolution, how to properly communicate. And those are all skills you'll take with you no matter where you go. And I believe that we do a great job of teaching our team members and our leadership all those skills. I get college graduate people that I have to still teach those soft skills. And I always tell, here recently we had somebody who got a job that she wanted just because she worked for us. Chick-fil-A is a well-recognized brand and company. And I often tell my team members, look, when you put Chick-fil-A in your resume, people probably will look at you twice.
As we like to say, it looks good on a resume.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. It does.
Well, and you're exactly right. It all goes back to that brand. Mm-hmm. People know, because not just anyone can work at Chick-fil-A. I would have to think that sometimes people come in, you interview, you can't hire everybody. Even if you're in a bind and you need some more members on your team, you're not just there to fill a hole. You're there to keep the brand going, and you're not just going to bring anyone in to do it.
They are the gatekeepers of our brand.
The gatekeepers of your brand. Do you have the unique business too? Because I've known businesses like this, to when you have that whole team concept, that the team has a lot of pride in what they do, and if they see a member slacking and not doing what they should do, does the team jump in to lift them up to make sure that everybody's together?
We do a lot of feedback. We do a lot of coaching. And yes, sometimes not everybody can work for Chick-fil-A because we are able to teach soft skills, but we're not able to teach an attitude. So if people come in with a bad attitude, we can teach them to have a good attitude. But we do a lot of development and a lot of coaching to get people to where they need to.
Does it make you feel good? I mean, you've had your store now, as we mentioned, for 22 years. I know that the people that were working with you 22 years ago, not all of them are still with you. But is it fun sometimes when somebody comes back to your store and they see you and they worked for you 10, 15 years ago or more, but they still remember you? Does that give you a good feeling?
It does, and I'm so glad you asked that question because I was on the phone with my mom last Sunday talking about, the purpose of our lives. And I keep a box of my house that is pretty big where I keep all the notes, letters, and cards that I've received from people that have worked for me before and then now have other careers. So I received a letter from Japan from a girl that is in the Navy. And this particular girl was always, I always had to keep her on a short leash, teaching her this, discipline and showing up on time. And then I got a letter from her where she told me how grateful she was for all I taught her. And that all that she had learned at Chick-fil-A, now she can apply where she was doing. And those letters, those notes are the ones that I keep. And I tell everybody they should put them in my, when I die, they should go with me. That's because they're so daring to me. When I look at and think about my actions and what I do every day can change someone's life.
It's that positive impact we talked about earlier in our interview. I mean, and it's there, and I would have to think that the discipline and the passion that you instill to someone, when they get in the Navy, there's discipline and passion there too, so you gave them a natural progression to get to where they are today.
Yeah, and I tell people, I recently had this conversation, holding people accountable doesn't mean you don't care for them. It's on the contrary, you do care.
It's just the opposite.
Right.
If you didn't care, you wouldn't hold them accountable.
Right. And so teaching discipline and commitment and dedication. And, I often also tell people, when they tell me, how did you make it to where you are now? And I don't give up. I work hard. And I don't, I know I have to stick with things long enough to see the results. And sometimes it requires a lot of patience.
One thing, too, I just thought about the fact, and again, I'm talking as someone that patronizes Chick-fil-A, the consistency. Every time I go, the food is great, and it tastes exactly like I remember it from last time. And store to store to store, how do you do that? How do you get that consistency every day with different team members and everything?
Training.
Yeah.
We do a lot of training. We do a lot of checking. I go through my drive-thru many times to experience how long does it take me? Are they greeting me properly? Did I get the items the way I asked for? Was my order complete? Was the food hot? I carry a thermometer with me in my purse. And so as soon as I get my food, I'm testing the food to see if it's at the right temperature. And always giving the feedback and working on correcting actions when we have issues. But it's training. It's constantly training.
Well, it all shows. I mean, it shows the fact. I don't know where your store ranks in the great scheme of thing of all the Chick-fil-A's, but it has to be up there, I would think.
We are very proud to be up there, yeah. I don't want to brag, but yes, we work a lot to make sure that we stay on the top.
Well, and as we mentioned earlier, too, you don't just sit back. You're always looking to change, and now you've added the delivery service that you handle in-house with your own people, which I think is fantastic. You got the extra lane because you know how busy it is, but frankly, Carmenza, nobody wants to eat at a restaurant with an empty parking lot. Why would you do that? You want to go where it's crowded because it's crowded.
It creates excitement, doesn't it? Like, why are they going there? I get questions like that all the time. Like, why are you so busy and other people around you are not?
Mm-hmm. And the first time you go in there and eat or you drink that fantastic lemonade, now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Or they experience the service, or doing touch-ins on the tables. We go out there and we ask you, can I remove your tray? Can I refresh your drink? And that's what we call second mile service. It's going above and beyond what the customer expects.
We mentioned earlier, I've seen Chick-fil-A out and about within the community, certainly here at the Chamber. You've been a very active member of the Chamber. You've been an award-winning member of the Chamber. Congratulations on that, because I'm
Thank you.
familiar with that. But let's talk about the Chamber just a little bit. You've been a member for a long time of the Chamber. Why? What does the Chamber bring to you think, personally and professionally?
Personally, I have built incredible relationships. I've been able to have mentors. I've been able to learn more about business. And professionally, I, as a business owner, this is a great platform to grow your business. It is also a great platform to give back. There's so many things you can get involved with where you can give back, not just receive, which is part of being a positive influence, and that's why I'm part of the Chambers, and I like the relationships, and it helps me grow my business. The awareness. Some people may think, but what more awareness do you need? And that is again going back to not being complacent. Once someone once said that the biggest threat to our brand is to the success we have, and so not forgetting how we made it there, and never get complacent. So being part of the Chambers has not only helped me grow my business, bring awareness to my business, but it's also giving me a platform to give back.
Well, I can speak as a Chamber person and as someone in the public. Chick-fil-A is a fantastic business in so many ways. Your specific store on North Collins is so generous to the community and to the Chamber, and your involvement is so obvious. I mean, everybody comes to business over breakfast or whatever we do. We use you a lot to cater in-house here, and there's a reason we do that, because
it is. I go around and people tells me all the time they know me. I don't know who they are, and I know a lot of it is the exposure that we get through the Chamber.
Well, the Chamber really appreciates. I appreciate you being here today. And normally I would say thank you, but for today, I'm going to say it's been my pleasure.
Good job.
All right, folks, there we go. That's one of the great members here at the Chamber. We do appreciate her being here, and it has been my pleasure. But it's been my pleasure that you've been with us today as well. We look forward to catching you next time. Take care.